Okay, so yeah, this video is all going to be about how to transit the Panama Canal, which you don't do very often and it doesn't happen every day.
As deep as the sea, no matter how rough things may come to be, you and me, we're family.
So one of the first things you have to do to get through the Panama Canal is you need to you can either do it yourself. I've got no idea how you do it yourself, so that I'm not the person to ask on that, but I can share with you how it gets done if you use an agent.
Visor, because your yacht is less than 65 feet.
Yeah.
Right. And this is your boat.
Thank you. We're really excited about it. We've also got 4 patrons coming to help out as line handlers, which is exciting. So basically you get in touch with the agent and you give loads of information, and then you let the agent know when you're ready for a measurement, and they do the measurements either here in Shelter Bay, or they'll do it out on the flats. So we're in Shelter Bay for a week and we got measured here. So the guy comes along, he's a really nice guy called Jose, and he's very polite, and he comes along and he gets his tape measure out, as you can imagine, and he measures your boat. That's about it. Well, apart from that, he also does a lot of paperwork as well. So there's a bit of paperwork. They have to check that you've got things like a radar that works, that your VHF works and your VHF call sign. They want to know how powerful your engine is, and how fast you can go. They want to know how much fuel you've got, and they want to check your cleats are strong as well. There's a kind of an indemnity form you have to sign, I suppose, if anything gets broken, which I imagine some things do, as we know, like cleats get pulled off, and there's all the stuff he goes through here, which is the stuff I just talked about, really. So once you've done all the paperwork for the measurement, then another colleague of Eric comes along and collects the payment. And this is James, yeah. So James comes along soon after, and you can pay by card in dollars. So for us, it's about $2,400 US. The pilot that comes on board will need to be fed. You need to be fed, and you need to have holding tanks as well, and you need to have bottles of water for that person. So, I mean, we're going to have line handlers anyway, having our 4 line handlers, so we'll be having meals for a couple of days anyway, lots of meals for everyone, so it'll be a big kind of cook-up really for 4 days. That's probably what I'll be doing. That's it, that's stage 1 over. There's also a few things you need to get ready, like to prepare your boat. You need to get fenders and lines on board, which we hire from our agents. So we've been hanging around here for a week, and this is the day of the transit, and they bring the lines and fenders in the morning, and they said between 9 and 12, so it's just gone 11 now, and he's gone to get more fenders, and these are all the lines we're going to use. Exciting.
You enter in the chamber, you receive the monkey fish. He sometimes does damage the solar panel.
Okay.
It will protect, but when you receive the monkey fish, try to receive him from the pool.
Yeah, so what we've got to do now is we've got to put some cushions on to make sure that these don't get damaged when they throw the monkey's fist. We're putting these cushions on our solar panels. Solar panels, we need to cover them up with cushions and strap it down in case, I think it's when they throw lines to you with the monkey's fist, in case it lands on top of the solar panel and damages it, you've got to protect it. We'll be under engine, so our batteries will stay charged up as we're on engine, so we don't have to worry about that.
One day before, everything email with the transit time and all the information.
On the day of the transit, we need to turn our VHF on to channel 12, which is the Cristobal signal station, and we need to listen out, and we will get called out to go and wait for our pilot, and I imagine that will be over in the flats where we were anchored, where you can anchor just outside the marina. So we kind of need to be ready to go really on the day of transit.
We recommend to leave here the marina at 1 or 2 p.m. You move to the flat is upside here the marina. In the email we'll send you the location for the flat. When you move to the flat, you call in channel 12, Cristobal signal, and he confirmed the time for the pilot.
This is what you have to have up on your cockpit, really, when you transit.
When you receive the pilot, he explains you what is the position in the canal, if you got nested or alongside the toll boat. Normally it's 2 or 3 boats transit together.
And then they'll talk about how you want to go through. Like, do you want to go nesting in between 2 boats, or alongside a pilot boat, or next to the wall? And he'll kind of recommend what's best for your boat. With us being a fiberglass boat, maybe a slightly larger boat, we'll probably be in the middle, nested between 2 others.
The first day you cross Gatun Lodge. When you finish, go to the buoy, and the pilot leave. Next day another pilot about 7 or 8 in the morning, and you continue the transit, and you finish in the other side about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Okay, no swimming in the lake. It's cocoa dry and penalty for swimming. And you provide food and bottled water for advisor. The first day dinner, next day breakfast and lunch. And when you finish the transit, you stop in Balboa Yacht Club and the tender boat, because the fenders and lines and handliners. And you continue for another place, Playita or Flamenco. Or in Balboa is a mooring buoy. If you want a buoy, you take a buoy in Balboa. 2 days before you leaving to Panama, we help you with the clearance, with the checkout. Only confirm the crew and the next port. We go to immigration in Balboa or Flamenco.
We're really excited because our patrons have just arrived and they're coming to help us do the line handling.
It was great to get some help with a few jobs, including scrubbing the decks.
Goodbye! Starboard side 1 meter above the water. Thank you for the information.
I'll miss you.
Yeah, I'll miss you guys too.
I guess now the mothership is adrift.
Yes. Yep. If you've got a blind spot, you can ask anybody in the bow just to say when you're clear. I mean, you're pretty clear now. You can see where you've got to go.
Goodbye!
We came out from Shelter Bay Marina and we just tootled round the corner, dropped our anchor, and we're in the anchorage called the Flats. And we're all waiting here and waiting and waiting and waiting for the pilot to come. And we think he said 1:15, but it probably was 4:15. And so he's going to board and then we'll find out what happens next. This is everybody. Rowan, Ewan, Woody, Thomas, Paul, I should have done this, Andrew.
So this is the captain speaking. We have the pilot vessel approaching, and the first mate is going to greet.
My dad's not captain.
It's good. The first mate is going to greet
It's my
the
mum.
pilot. Do you mind? This is a serious blog. But I think the freeboard is actually higher than ours, so I think they're just going to jump over, and then we head to the first lock. I'm not sure if there's any stopping after that. We've covered the solar panels. We've got the lines ready, fenders. Here we go.
I think the thing I hate the most is that you have to have Coke on board. That's like Coke.
Who said that?
Oh, Blake said that you usually have to have Coke on.
Or can you get in the field with some your person card if you've got any Coke?
The masks.
How you doing?
They're good. Nice to meet
Ready.
you. Irenka.
Evenka.
Woody.
Woody.
Woody, yes.
Ready. First time going through?
Yep.
No experience?
No.
We're the old hand line going up today. And we'll be going center chamber.
Centre chamber.
Then we'll be using 4 lines
Yep.
at 1800 with 30. Copy that. We will be following Century Venus. Do we have it? Century Venus?
Century Venus.
Yeah.
Should we start flaking the
Yeah,
lines?
he started making it and put in the fingers on.
Okay, alright, so we were relaxed and then suddenly things sort of took another gear. So we got all the lines flaked out on the deck and all the fenders evenly placed on our boats. So we've done that now and we're following behind this other boat. Yeah, so the boat is actually called
Century Venus.
We've got Freddie the pilot who's telling us basically what to do, where to move to. Rowan's going to be helping with bowlines. Andrew's on port aft fleet line. We've got Paul here. Yeah, he's on starboard aft line. Yeah, Gillian here, she's doing photography. Yeah, she hasn't been feeling too great, but she's feeling better. She's definitely coming up on deck to do this. We've got Thomas on starboard fleet, forward. And I'm in the team with Thomas. I'm on the port side, forward cleat. There's too many words to remember.
So we're about to go through the Panama Canal. There's like another boat going through as well. And yeah, we're so close to going through. Everyone's getting their gloves on. So those are the pilot boats over there, and then that's the other tanker going through. So this is the first bridge, the bridge of Atlantic, the Atlantic Bridge. Then there's the other bridge that is called the America Bridge. There's these birds that are flying. You can see them. I think they're migrating. There are 923 species of birds in Panama. Harpy eagle is the national bird of Panama.
So basically the first lock is all about going up. So we've got to take in slack. And then we get in the Gatun Lake. And then the next part will be about easing out. So we're just going under the bridge.
Yes, go ahead, Commander.
Let's have a look at Gary's brief animation about the Panama Canal.
Canals have been a big part of human development, inspiring a lot of growth. One of the most ambitious being the Panama Canal, with a length of 82 kilometers. This isn't like any normal canal though, this one has locks. This is how they work. A boat enters the first lock, the water rises. The boat enters the second lock, the water rises even more. Then it enters the last lock. This boat has gained a bit of ground. This allows the Panama Canal to avoid digging so much soil. If you want to get back, you just reverse the process. During construction, one of the biggest causes of death was mosquito-carried diseases.
The highest part of Panama is 3,475 meters.
A steady distance away from the boat in front, but at the moment he's only got about 2.5 knots, and I think we've got a little bit of a current with us, and so steerage is a bit tricky.
By the evening, we had approached the first set of locks on the Atlantic side. The French began work on the canal in 1881, but stopped due to the intense challenges of the dense jungle, climate and need to excavate the locks. Eventually, in 1904, the United States took over the construction.
Pull in and secure. Let's secure it. Okay, pull in. Okay, good.
When you're moving forward to the next lock, so they take it off the bollard and then you bring the line back to your boat and kind of flake it again. And when you go up the hills, then you have to kind of lift it really high so it doesn't get caught on the sides of the canal. the technicalities of doing the line handling. So when you're going up, you have to take in slack, but you only do one side at a time. So one side takes in the slack, and then the second side takes in the slack, and you just keep doing that until the water stops coming in.
We had quite a smooth ride up the locks yesterday. The first one was quite fraught, but we kind of learned quickly. There was a lot of wash, and we weren't quite expecting the water level to rise quite quick, as quick as it did, but we soon got into our stride.
There's a lot of whirlpools, and as the water's coming in, you can see all these whirlpools all around. We were kind of thinking we really wouldn't want to fall in there because it's swirling around so much. But yeah, it's going pretty well so far.
Okay, put it on the line.
After the first lock, you move along through the canal to the second lock, staying centre of the canal at all times.
Picked up a mooring buoy just outside the last lock in Guntan Lake. We were due to leave 7:30 this morning, but we didn't really get going until about 10 o'clock. 28 miles to go. I didn't realise the lake was so long, and it's full of islands as well, so it's not just a straight line. You kind of weave in and out these kind of islands, which are all part of a national park now. Obviously this is a man-made lake, and it was flooded in 1910 for the halfway point in the canal. Really weird, you've got this kind of this mega commerce going by, these huge tankers and cargo vessels, each paying over $1 million to pass through the canal. I didn't realise that they pay $1 million just to use the canal, and then $1,000 fees and things like that, so it's a huge amount of money. So you've got this kind of like high stakes, high money commerce going on in this sort of beautiful surrounding which is uninhabited.
The Panama Canal is one of the busiest waterways in the world, but any extreme weather conditions to do with the climate change, such as flood or drought, will threaten the water supply that the canal needs to function.
It's been interesting watching all these ships go past us. So obviously we're already doing about 6.5 knots, but these are doing about sort of 12 knots, so they pass us quite quickly, and got a huge wake as well. It kind of exemplifies the phrase "hurry up and wait," because there's like lots of like manic activity in a short space of time, and then like hours of just sitting around waiting for the next thing to happen. Surreal being in such an iconic milestone of a round the world trip. I mean, this is one of the things that everybody's got to do, unless you go around Cape Horn, around South America. But Paul on the wheel now, he's on watch, and then I'll take over again when we hit the locks. So the crew's doing well. Gillian unfortunately has been bedbound up until now. She's come down with something, we're not quite sure what, whether it's seasickness or food poisoning. But she's not having a brilliant time of it. Kids are doing okay. I think boredom's setting in a little bit now, and so the inevitable squabbling and fighting started. Rowan settled down with a good novel, and the boys have settled down to a session of squabbling and fighting. But they are trying to get on with the schoolwork in between times as well.
Barry actually wasn't doing his schoolwork, and I finished my English, and what did he finish, huh?
Okay, so we're doing pasta. Big pasta dish and salad. We've got about 35 minutes before we go through the next lock.
The pilots have been great actually. I mean, we've heard some horror stories about pilots in some parts of the world, but the guys we've had have been terrific, really polite and very friendly.
I just called the office because the 2 ships that we were planning to go with, since everything went ahead of time, 2 ships already passed us.
We've got to the end of the lake, and even though we've been maintaining the speed that we were told to, apparently we missed our slot.
The only option that we have is to lock down with a ship that is about like 2 hours behind, and that would be like in the afternoon, like around 4 o'clock. Okay, so there's 2 options that they're offering. You either finish tomorrow, which I think you don't would like to, because that way you have to go return back to the mooring in Gamboa to stay for the following day. And the other option is to wait until 4 o'clock. Then we'll have to move someplace close to the locks, wait maybe 2 or 3 hours more.
So we were given a choice of either going all the way back 28 miles to where we were and pick it up again tomorrow, or wait here for a few hours and wait for another slot.
And then the next thing is that it will be night when we head into the next locks. Not this locks, the second locks, which is Mina Flores. In that spot, you will have to go sidewalk to the locks. In that way, you will have to agree to sign a release indemnification since the sailboat is heading sidewalk instead of center chamber. Okay?
So what does that involve? With all defenders on one side?
Yeah, one to one side.
And then releasing?
Yeah, releasing. It's no problem because, as I said earlier today to you, the water is very smooth. There's no swelling inside the chamber. Yeah. So the movement is very slow. There's no risk that you were able to damage your sailboat or nothing like that. I want to find a spot ahead to say where we can move and wait maybe for the next 2 or 3 hours. Okay?
The only problem is there's nowhere to anchor or wait, so we're kind of just tootling around, just waiting to pick up another spot. So it's a bit frustrating because it means that we won't be out to the other side until night time now, until darkness. So we're kind of hoping to be out sort of mid-afternoon and then get set up, anchored up, and then sort of have a bit of relax. But that's not going to happen now. Is there an anchorage at the other side? Because if we're entering on the other side at night, is there an anchorage nearby?
Yes, we have the Balboa Jacob.
Yeah, that's right by our hotel.
That's right after the bridge. That's about like 30 minutes or so from the locks.
Is that buoys or anchor?
It's moorings, yes.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
Because we were slightly, well, not delayed, just that the boats that we're supposed to be going through, they went ahead. We had a choice of either going back to the lake to wait for tomorrow or wait here for 3 hours, 2 or 3 hours to go through alongside the wall. So they've changed the way we're going to go for the next locks. We're going to go along the wall.
Meanwhile, we found a dock we could wait on.
The heaving lines from the vessels that are approaching the locks, so the lines from the vessel can be attached to the cable of the locomotive, and that has been done from day one of the canal, more than 100 years.
So it's a 100-year tradition.
They kept the same tradition of using the rowboat for that purpose.
So this is like the last 2 locks. We're approaching the Miraflores locks. There's 2 basins. We go in one and then go down, and then we go into the other one and go down again, and that's it.
So behind me is the visitor centre where we watched our friends Lumos going through a few months ago. So we're actually in more or less on exactly the same spot as they were.
So we came up and we stayed in Gatun Lake, and now we're going down. So this is the first lock, and you can also see the other boat is coming in behind us. So it's a massive tanker. It literally only just fits in. It's so wide. It kind of, I bet they have to make tankers a certain width so they can fit through the Panama Canal. And this one is just making it. This is like one of those boats that feels like it's either too wide and too long to go in this canal, but they're going to do it anyway. And it's behind us. And as you can see, if you look over the gate over there, you can see how the drop is a massive drop. You know what freaks me out is like if that suddenly opened accidentally too quickly, the whole water would suddenly just flow out and it would just ping our cleats off. And anyway, we won't think about those sort of things.
A Panama Canal lock's mighty gate can weigh up to 700 tons, which is comparable to that of with more than 300 elephants.
So we're alongside now. They've changed us from the middle. As we said, we missed that other boat, went way too fast for us and went through, so we ended up going on our own again, but this time alongside the wall, which means we have to ease out. I don't think it's such a good way of doing it, but we've got lots of fenders out, and hopefully it'll be fine as long as we ease up the lines. So yeah, we've got to learn a kind of new thing again. It's quite interesting. Woody's going to be helming again, because there's no way that I want to sort of learn how to do that bit.
Tallest gates are at Miraflores on the Pacific entrance because of the tidal variation. Each mitre gate has on average a 2 metre thickness and a 19 metre width, while the height ranges from 14 to 22 metres depending on the position.
So it's really high, and it's unbelievable how far we have to go down on each lock. It's crazy. That's what we've got to do, teamwork.
So Ewan's been doing a live stream all the way through the locks. So this is it, this is the final lock before the Pacific Ocean. It's like a big milestone. Yeah, look.
So Andrew's just telling us that this is the Bridge of American, and it's the Panamanian highway that's supposed to go all the way from Alaska down to the tip of Argentina, but there's some bits missing. So where are the bits missing, Andrew?
The bits are missing right here in Panama. The last 100 kilometers or so of Panama and the first 50 kilometers or so of Colombia, which is impenetrable rainforest full of rebel groups and all kinds of things.
So that nature has just, and all the other things, the rebels have sort of taken that bit and stopped that being the highway.
At the very end of the Pan American Highway there are 2 or 3 police checkpoints, and at the very last one, well, they warn you the last couple, you really shouldn't go too much further. And at the very last one, they take your passport in case they have to identify the body afterwards in case it's ever found.
Yeah, at the moment we've got rush hour, so there's a lot of cars, because actually you've got the city over there, and then that's the suburbs, so they're all heading over that bridge to the suburbs where everybody lives. That's why it's rush hour.
All the lines and fenders were collected.
Thank you, really appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. So that's the advisor dropped off. We're going to pick up a mooring buoy now and have a good night's sleep.
And food, I'm so hungry.
And food.
This is Balboa Yacht Club. We got a taxi to this little bridge, and now we're walking over to the office, and we're going to get out of here because it's quite rolly, and we'll go around the other side. We've gone around the corner now from the buoy in Balboa Yacht Club, and we're entering the anchorage at Panama City. Here we are. It's pretty ugly all around here, but there's something beautiful about the city in a way. It's like a kind of, yeah, a concrete jungle, I suppose you can call it.
We're just seeing dolphins right over there. It was such a beautiful welcome to the Pacific Ocean. Stay tuned.
You and me.
We would like to say a massive thank you to our patrons for supporting these videos and this epic journey.
Things may come to be. You and me, we're family. Sing ho, hey, long for the ride. Ho, hey, I'll stay by your side.
Don't forget to subscribe and check out our channel dedicated to fixing your boat called Mothership Maintenance.
Bye. alright.